Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel, where I'm basically just going to talk about some big things going on in the college football world, basically tomorrow. So, I just want to start off by saying tomorrow is a big day in the great city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Also, bear with me, I'm in the process of moving. I don't have my setup yet, but don't worry, it's coming. However, big things coming tomorrow in college football. First off, SEC Nation. I don't watch it much, but it's basically SEC's equivalency of College Game Day. They are going to be in Knoxville tomorrow for this big game. Also, College Game Day is going to be in Knoxville for this big game tomorrow. Guest picker on that show, none other than the one player that people in Knoxville seem to love and adore and worship, I guess. Weird word to say. But Peyton Manning, the Peyton Manning, is going to be on College Game Day tomorrow making picks. So, yeah, just be ready for that. But first, I'm going to go through some of these games that I'm going to consider big tomorrow that are happening. So we've got number 15 ranked NC State Wolfpack playing at number 18 ranked undefeated Syracuse Orange. That's going to have big implications on the ACC. I think, from what I can tell, Syracuse has been playing pretty good. NC State's been playing pretty good. I don't know if Syracuse can beat NC State, because from what I've seen from the pack, they're pretty good. I think they've got one loss. Yeah, they're 5-1. Of course, Syracuse is undefeated, and they are actually a 3.5 point favorite. We know what happens when you're a 3.5 point favorite, right? Ask LSU what happens. Tennessee last week was a 2.5 point favorite, and we won by 27. Pretty close to 30, if you ask me. But yeah, Syracuse, NC State playing tomorrow at 3:30. They're going to be on the ACC network. Also, we've got number 8 ranked Oklahoma State and 13 ranked TCU. Both of them are undefeated. A couple weeks ago, TCU beat Oklahoma 55-27. The Cowboys might want to be ready, because I feel like TCU is legit. They played Kansas last week and knocked the Jayhawks off the undefeated ranks. But Kansas ain't Oklahoma State. From what I've seen in years past, Oklahoma State's something to be reckoned with. TCU has been a force to be reckoned with this season too, but they're not on Oklahoma State level. I think Oklahoma State's going to probably walk away with that one. Maybe not big win. They are only... Oh, I never even noticed that. TCU is a 4-point favorite. So Oklahoma State might want to bring their A game. I think Oklahoma State can still win it. I don't think it's going to be as big as I thought, like I was about to say. I think it's going to be probably a 3-point win. I think Oklahoma State's going to win it, maybe 24-21. Maybe even more. I think they're going to probably put up more points because both of those are high point scoring offenses. Another game that I'm going to consider big, James Madison at Georgia Southern. Yes, I said it. James Madison and Georgia Southern. But why are those two teams being considered a big team by you? They're small team. Yeah, well, what you don't know is James Madison has just moved up to the FBS conferences from the FCS. James Madison is undefeated since making that move. They're ranked 25th. I'm going to call it a big game because they are ranked for the first time in their school history after just moving up to the FBS. They weren't here last year, but here they are. I think James Madison is going to win this. I think they might just cover that spread. They are a 12.5 point favorite. I think they're going to probably win it by I don't know. I'm going to say 21. I think they can cover that and then some. But James Madison being ranked and undefeated for the first time in their school history, even after moving up to FBS, might want to watch out for them. Pac-12, you've got number 7 ranked USC, and they're playing in Utah against the number 20 ranked Utah Utes. I think this is where we're going to find out who USC really is. Yeah, they've played a couple decent teams this season, but Utah is not one of those decent teams. Utah's actually the favorite in this game. They're a 3.5 point favorite. I feel like USC hasn't really been tested, so that's why they're undefeated. So I'm not even going to go by rank in this. Utah has 2 losses. They lost their first game of the season to Florida, which I think was a fluke in the beginning. And then, who did they play last week? They are coming off a loss. I do know that. Utah played. Who did they play? Help me out here. Need week 6, not week 7. Sorry, bear with me. Oh, that's right. They played UCLA. UCLA is good, so I'm not even going to... And it was only a 10-point difference. So, not much to go on. One loss is, in my book, a fluke. They should have never gotten beat by Florida. UCLA, they've been good all season, so I'll give them the benefit of a doubt. Excuse me, sorry. But I think Utah is going to win this game tomorrow. Just because, like I said, USC hasn't really been tested. They barely beat Oregon State. They won that one 17-14, I think, 2 weeks ago. Which Oregon State isn't really a pushover team anymore. But at the end of the day, they're still Oregon State. So I think Utah's going to win this. I think they're going to win it by... I don't know if they'll cover the spread, actually. 3.5 points, that's going to be hard to cover. Just because I feel like USC is good, but they're not as good as advertised. Another game that's going on tomorrow. SEC, you've got number 16, Mississippi State. Number 22, Kentucky. Kentucky's coming off a huge loss. They got beat by South Carolina last week. I don't know. I don't want to say that they're going to let this happen again. But Mississippi State has been playing lights out here lately. They've got 1 loss. They're 5-1. Kentucky's 4-2. Mississippi State's playing some good football this season. And I think they're a 3.5 point favorite. So I think they're going to win it probably by 7-10. I mean, if Will Levis comes back for Kentucky, I think Kentucky's going to win it by 7-10. I think either way it's going to be a 7-10 point win for either one of these teams. With Will Levis, I think it's going to be Kentucky, but without Will, Mississippi State's going to win it. That's just my opinion. I don't really know because I haven't really watched either one. I know Kentucky beat Florida by 10 and then got beat by South Carolina. So, can you really dictate how good Kentucky is by those 2 games? Not really. You know they beat a terrible Florida team that's not that good, but they also got beat by a South Carolina team that's not that good. So you can't really dictate if they're good or not because they lost to a good team or a bad team, but they also beat a bad team. Hard to really tell. You got number 4 Clemson at Florida State. Clemson in this one is only a 4.5 point favorite. Florida State has 2 losses. And their 4 wins, one of them came against a good LSU team in week 1, which, honestly, I don't think LSU should have lost that game. But they did, and it is what it is. Just ask LSU how they're feeling now after getting shellacked by Tennessee last week. In Death Valley, may I add. But yeah, I think Clemson's going to go away with a win in this game. They're going to cover that spread easily. I just don't think Florida State matches up with Clemson at all. Clemson's been playing lights out. Florida State's been playing kind of quietly, but they've been decent here lately. Yeah, I think Florida State's loss, one of their losses was against Wake Forest. So Wake Forest is a good team. I don't think they were going to beat the Demon Deacons at all, but here we are with 4-2 for Florida State. So we'll see how that goes at 7:30 tomorrow. Then we've got Kansas at Oklahoma. Kansas is ranked 19th with one loss. I don't think Oklahoma, as crazy as it sounds, I don't think Oklahoma is going to beat Kansas tomorrow. Hold on, let me find it. They are, however, an 8.5 point favorite, but that's probably just because it's Kansas. But this season, Kansas has been playing some really good football. I don't think Kansas is going to lose this game at all. I think they're going to beat Oklahoma. Now, before the season started, I said that Oklahoma was going to beat Kansas. But seeing Oklahoma have 3 losses, they got beat by TCU 55-24, and then got shut out by Texas 49-0. I think Kansas is going to win this game. Sorry, excuse me. Giving Kansas 6 wins and 1 loss, and then making Oklahoma drop down to 3-4. Kansas, to me, best team in the Big 12 this season right now. So I think Kansas is going to win that game. Now, there are two Big 10 matchups. Or top 10 matchups, sorry. One's a Big 10 matchup, the other one's an SEC matchup. Number 1 I'm going to go with is Penn State and Michigan. Penn State's ranked 10th, Michigan's ranked 5th. Michigan is a 7-point favorite. Have they really been tested? Some might say we've seen who Michigan really was against Maryland. I don't think we really seen who they were. This is going to be the big test. Penn State undefeated, Michigan undefeated. Both teams are playing for something big in the Big Ten. Of course, Michigan's coming off a season where they went into the college football playoffs. They beat Ohio State. Did they win the Big Ten championship? I think they did. I think that's how they made it to the playoff. But I feel like Penn State's going to bring a big game. They're going to bring their best because they want to beat the number 5 team in the nation. Who doesn't? Do I think they get it done? I personally don't think so. I think Michigan's going to come in here and they're going to be in a dogfight all the way up until the end, and then Michigan's going to win it by 14. That's basically how it happened with the Maryland game. They were in a dogfight all the way up through the 4th quarter, and then Maryland found their rhythm and just got it done. So I think Michigan's going to win tomorrow by 14. And then the big game we've all been waiting for. Oh my goodness, who can remember any time when you can say the number 3 Alabama Crimson Tide, undefeated, are traveling to Knoxville, Tennessee to play against the 6th ranked Tennessee Volunteers, who are also undefeated. I can't remember a time when that's happened. Tomorrow on CBS at 3:30, the number 3 team in the nation, the Alabama Crimson Tide, are playing in Knoxville against the number 6 ranked team in the nation, the Tennessee Volunteers. Alabama is 6-0, Tennessee's 5-0. Both teams are playing good. Unfortunately, I predicted at the beginning of the season that Tennessee's going to have 2 losses. One was Bama, the other one was Georgia. If Alabama plays like they did against Texas this season, I think Tennessee's going to win. You can't make that many penalties against this Volunteer team at all. They will make you pay. Alabama beat Texas by 1 point. Also, Bryce Young, I don't know if he's going to be playing tomorrow. I don't know if he's out. I don't know if he's playing. I just don't know. If he plays tomorrow, our defense has had trouble with the pass, and that's That's pretty much what Bryce does. He throws the ball really well. The receivers aren't the greatest, but when you got a quarterback like Bryce Young, what more do you need? If you can't find anybody open, he's just going to run on you. Milroe, from what I've seen last week, isn't the greatest quarterback, but he's still an Alabama quarterback, so you know he's got to be something with some talent. But he's not accurate at all. So I think Tennessee is going to win in a dogfight, which Alabama I don't think wants either way. I think Tennessee can win in a dogfight without Bryce Young playing. With Bryce Young playing, I think it's going to... I don't really know. This game could go either way. Being a Tennessee fan myself, I really want to say, yeah, Tennessee's going to go in there and they're going to just destroy Alabama. They're going to play until the final whistle and they're just going to beat every aspect of the Crimson Tide. But as a college football fan, that's not true. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like Tennessee is going somewhere this season. Is it their time to beat Alabama? Who knows? But also, there's this phrase for college football. Any given Saturday. That's all you need. Any given Saturday, anybody can win. Alabama's going to a hostile environment. And you know the Tennessee faithful are going to be rocking in Neyland Stadium. We've seen Alabama in a hostile environment in Austin, Texas. They did not play very well at all. But this ain't Austin, Texas. This ain't the Texas Longhorns. This is the Tennessee Volunteers in Knoxville. And people are fired up about this game. I'm just going to leave it at this. If Tennessee wins tomorrow, there's going to be pandemonium in K-Town. Couch is going to be burning. Somebody might burn down the whole city. But I think Alabama's going to win this one. I don't think they'll cover your spread because they're only a 9-point favorite. But I think the Tide will win this. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to say 37-34. Do I want to see that happen? Absolutely not. Tennessee fan side of me wants to... Honestly, I don't even care if it's a close win. If Tennessee beats Alabama, I'll be happy-go-lucky. But I don't know if it's our time yet. So we'll see how that goes. But that's that. Tennessee, Alabama. Who's it going to be? Hopefully it's the Volunteers. But we'll see what happens. Go Vols. Love y'all.